Hi guys, welcome back. So in this session, we will learn about what are the top most Salesforce interview questions and answers asked in Technical Support Engineer Round 1. So first question is that what is assignment rule? So assignment rule in Salesforce are used to automatically assign lead or case to owner, that is user or owner. Q assignment rule is used to automate owner assignment and case lead based on conditions or case and lead. So there are two type of assignment rule. First is lead assignment rule and second is case assignment rule. Lead as what is lead assignment rules? So it specify how leads are assigned to users or queue as they are created manually, captured from the web, or imported via data loader. So it assigned to the users that are created manually. And in the case assignment rules that determine how cases are assigned to users to put into queues as they are created manually using web to case, email to case, on demand email service portal, Outlook, and Notice nodes. Second is question is that what is sharing rule and how many are there? So show sharing rule in Salesforce creates automatic exception to the organization wide default settings for that users who don't own the record. So they are applied to, they are applied they should be applied to the objects whose org default sets to be private, public read only, and public. Okay, so to public read on a private, because sharing rules can only extend the access, they cannot restrict the access provided by the organization wide default. Okay, there are two types of sharing rules in Salesforce. First is owner based sharing rule, second is criteria based. So owner based sharing rules record owned by the specific users. Owner can be identified through public group rules and subordinates, and criteria based sharing rules share record based on the condition that meet the specified criteria. Third question is that what are the relationship between in Salesforce? So relationship in Salesforce refers to the connection between different data objects within the platform. That is, these relationship enable you to associate and link record, facilitating a structured and organized approach to data management. So basically relationship in Salesforce is that you can connect two different objects with each other and share the and you can access them. Okay, associate that link records between them. So type of relationship in Salesforce, that is lookup relationship, master detail relationship, man to man relationship, self relationship, external relationship, and hierarchical relationship. Fourth question is that how to debug an Apex class. So there are various methods to debug an Apex class. Firstly, use system debug logs. Then after that, use your developer console. Then add debug statement, system.debug statement, and yeah, you developer console and use exceptional handling. Okay, fifth question is that write a SOQL query to fetch record annual values more than 50,000. So here the query was that select ID name annual value from opportunity where opportunity annual value greater than 50,000. So it will fetch the annual value whose uh, value more than 50,000. So write any Apex class. So I wrote an Apex class, that is it's a example of Apex class, that how to create how to be create record in Apex class, how to be update in Apex class, how to be delete record in Apex class. So I take an account object, that is public class account manager, and method to create a new account, that is publish static account create account. That is, I created a parameter, I passed a parameter, that is string name and string phone, and in the account new account, that is created a new account, that is name and phone, that is insert new account. Same method will be applied on update, that is existing because we fetch the ID because already account record has to be present in system, so I want to fetch that ID, so I pass parameter as a ID, that is account ID, and after that whatever the method to be update, that is a string new name and string new phone, are to be updated, new name and phone, so are to be updated. So Here the same method for that, I wrote a SOQL query to fetch the record which have to be updated. After that, out to be update that name and phone, and after that update a statement over there, YAML statement. That is method to delete an existing account. That is same method, I wrote a query for the method, and I insert an operator that is delete, and method to fetch any details by the id, and method to fetch any list of records, same method for that. Okay, coming to next questions, how to debug a lightning flow. So there are various methods to debug a lightning flows. First, it debug log. How here the steps are how to be use your debug log. That is, go to setup, enter a debug logs in the quick find board, select the debug logs, select new under monitored log, and select the users who actions who want to monitor, and save, run the flow, and execute your flow lighting experiences with mobile app. Okay, first is debug log. Second is that flow builder debug tool. So flow builder provides a built-in debug tool that allows you to test and debug your flows directly in the flow builder. So simply you just open your flow, and here on the top most right of the corner, that is your debug. So click on that debug, and you can view the logs based on the conditions you have fetched, you were used in that flow. And whenever the logs but suppose your system has to be filled, you suppose your flow has to be full after the third step, and it will show in your log, that is whatever the error has to become, that is generated an AI. Okay, so next is fall path. Add using fall path in your flow that catch, handle, and errors gracefully. To add your fall paths in your flow for each element. And fourth is screen element for debugging. Add your screen element for debugging. That is adding your screen that is display the error where things goes wrong. Use platform events. So if you have a complex flows, consider using platform to log flow actions and data changes. The steps to create a platform events and open a flow are the debug with tool. Select the debug on the latest stage and provide necessary input variables and click run. Review your execution after configuring all the things. Then review execution for the flow debugger tool and whatever the flow had to be configured. How to restrict flow to you other users can't be accessed. So restricting access to a Salesforce flow so that only certain user can execute it involves settings at appropriate permissions, sharing settings, and here are the several methods to achieve this. How to restrict the flow to the particular users. So first step is that create a profile and permission set restrictions. So you here disable flow access in profiles, you can restrict the particular users. So here the steps are: go to setup, enter profile in the quick font board, and select profile. So click on that profile you want to restrict to, and in the under administrative permissions, make sure run flows is unchecked, and create a permission set. How to create a permission set for that particular zone? So enter permission set in the quick find points and select permission set, click new permission set, and name the permission that is flow access, and assign to that permission set to the particular users, how which user has to be affected for that, and you need to access for the flow. Okay, second is flow access control using custom permissions. So you can use custom permission to control who can run the flow. This approach is more flexible and easier to manage. So here the steps to create a custom permission, that is enter a enter custom permission in the quick find box, select custom permissions, and click on new custom permissions. That is the step for the name of the permissions, like access my flow, and assign custom permission to profile and permission set, and assign custom permissions to profile and permission set. So go to profile and permission set, that set you want to grant access to. In the profile or permission set, go to custom permissions, click at it, and add the custom permissions you created. Modify the flow to check the custom permissions. In the flow builder, use a decision element at the beginning of every user formula to check if the current user has custom permissions or not. So checking like this: dollar permissions not equal to dollar permissions access dot access my flow. So create custom permissions. So name access my flow, assign custom permissions to a flow profile, go to profile settings and edit the profile to include access my flow under custom permissions and flow builder configuration over there. And here are the steps to add a decision element in your flow builder. That is, add your decision element in flow builder. Label is take permission, outcome is that it has permission, resources that developer permission dot access my flow, operate is equal that is value I, and you can mention that. Using flow visibility options, the Salesforce allow you to control who can see the flow in the user interface through flow visibility settings. So flow assess settings, that is, go to setup, enter flows in the quick find with the select flows, click on the flow you want to restrict, click edit, and in the flow properties set the flow run flow as option in the system context without sharing. Then ensure that the flow runs in the system context, ignoring user permissions, but this does not restrict who can run the flow. Configure flow visibility. So configure your flow visibility, that is, open your flow builder, click on setup on the top right, select flow properties and set visibility to API and Lightning runtime. If you want to restrict the flow to be accessed programmatically and through Lightning, but not directly by users. Fourth point is that using sharing setting for flow launching, creating for sharing rules. How to create a sharing rules, enter sharing rules for the quick find, enter select sharing settings, create a sharing rule for that object flow interacts with, ensure only specific user have access to dot reserve restrict component visibility. And here the code for the HTML code for the aura component, how to be invoked, that is, you do not have a permission to access the flow. Here the JavaScript code and the Apex code for that. These methods provide multiple ways to restrict access to a flow based on your specific needs and structure of your Salesforce org. How to write test classes for batch Apex. So here are the steps for step-by-step guide how to write your test classes for your batch Apex class. So firstly, my first method is that create your test data. After that, call the batch class and use test dot start test and test dot stop test and assert the result. These are the four ways to write a batch class in your batch test class. So firstly, take an example, that is, I suppose you have a batch class that process account records and update a custom field. So here my write test class for it. So global class account batch update implement database dot batchable as subject global, that I used a query locator, that is database dot batchable context bc, that is return database dot query locator. I return that record that select id custom field from account where custom field equal to null. After that, in the execution I have to update that custom field, that is, and on the finish option I then post basic logic here. Then I created a test class for this batch above batch class above statement, that is at the rate is test and public class account batch class update after it is test setup. Here I have used static void setup, that will list create your test data, that is list of account record new list, and for integer I is equal to 0 I less than 200 and plus plus, and our accounts dot add, that is new account name dot test account plus I, insert that account. After that I query the result test data, that is static test void test batch execution, that is list of account. I query the accounts for that and system dot assert equal, that is 200 account size. Okay, and last that accounts that batch update and new batch account update, I execute with the batch size of 100, and after that assert that is statement system dot assert is equal to 200 account dot size, that is all 200 records has to be updated. Verify the results. Here the key points, that is test setup, is testing asynchronous code and assertions. These are the shits of that I use system. So assert equal other assessment method to validate the batch class process of data correctly or not. How to create escalation rules in Salesforce. So escalation rules in Salesforce are used to automatically escalate case based on certain criteria, ensuring that high priority issues and addressed promptly. Here the step-by-step guide to creating escalation rules in Salesforce. So firstly, navigate to the escalation rule, go to setup in the quick find bar, type escalation rule and click on the escalation rule under the case management. Okay, and click new a new escalation rules, that is click a new button and enter the name of the escalation rule, that is high priority on case escalation, just for example, or absolutely enter a description, click save. After hitting the save, you have add your rule entries. After saving your escalation rule, you will be taken to the page which where you can add your rule entries to define the specific area for which email has to be triggered. Okay, so sorting on of order, specify the sort order for the rule entry, define the criteria for the rule entry, and you can set condition based on the fields such as case, priority, case status, case type. And in the same rule, scroll down the escalation action section, that is click add action and specify the time criteria for that action. Suppose you want to escalate the case if not closed within 2 hours, so select the user to whom the case has been reassigned upon escalation, and optionally specified an email template to notify users about the escalation. If case has to be, select the user whom cases has to be automatically, it would be, if the case is not resolved within 2 hours, it automatically assigned to another person who will take care of that. Okay, and activate that escalation rules. Here the example of creating escalation rule for high priority cases that are not resolved within 2 hours. That is, navigate to escalation rule, go to setup escalation rule, create a new escalation rules, that is enter high priority case escalation. Step third, add rule entries for enter sort order one, set criteria over there, that is priority equals high, then save. After that, define escalation actions, that is scroll dot add action, that is over 2 hours, set assigned to the user of how after 2 hours it will automatically assign to the particular user or queue which have to be you have mentioned over there. And after that, select an email select an email template for notification and activate the escalation rules. There is a batch class running and one record is not processed. What are the possibilities? So there are various steps for that. That is, first is data issues. Data issues comes under the two parts, that is validation rules or record. Again, might be your record will be locked and it will not process, and suppose for this particular record you have wrote a validation rule, so that's why it will not process. Second is that there is code issues. That is, code issues comes under various steps, that is exceptional handling, logical errors, and governor limits. And third is system, is that system issues, that is platform down, or suppose if the your code is running in between, the platform has to be down, so Salesforce has to be down, so it might be an option, that is it will be worked on system issues and API limits. And fourth is configuration issues, that is you have configured that field level security sharing rules, and like you have might be using sharing that prevent that record might be subject to sharing that prevent the batch process from the accessing code. Okay, troubleshooting step, that is check logs, review batch class code, validation and security, governance limits. These all are to be take care of part. Okay, how much you rate yourself as an admin and developer? 12 question is that. So it totally depends on your experience how you answer that. Okay, and 13 question is that you are working on a priority tickets and your manager asks assigned urgent priority tickets, on which on will you complete first. So while handling multiple priority tickets, including that one that has been assigned urgently priority by manager, to then I would typically follow this step, determine which ticket has to be completed first. Firstly, I check that access urgency and impact. It impact on the urgent. It will be urgent for that customer or client or not. After that, consider customer impact, review my SLAs, and communicate with manager, evaluate complexity and effort, balance workload, and evaluate priorities. These are the steps. Write a trigger scenario, that is write an apex trigger to populate description of the user name whenever user update on edit record. So I wrote that trigger, that is trigger populate user description on user, that is before update, and I check the username, it has been changed or updated. So I wrote a if condition over there. In the if condition, I wrote that condition that user record that username is not equal to trigger dot dot get user dot record id and username. Populate the description with the username. If the is has been changed or then update that username with the update that description in the username. Okay, so 15 question is that how to debug client issue, one class not running as expected. So debugging client issue involves a systematic approach to identify, isolate, and resolve the problem. So here the general guide how to debug an issue with a class not running as expected. So reproduce the issues. Firstly, ensure that you can reproduce the issue considerately, understand the steps or condition that leads to the problem. After that, you will might go for the check logs, review any available logs, whether it is debug log in Salesforce if applicable, server logs, or client issue, client side load if the issue is related to the web application. That is, inspect error messages, review your code, checks inputs and outputs. Use system.debug, narrow down the issues, check the external dependencies. If a class relies on external services or data, verify those dependencies on the functioning correctly. So consult documentation, ask for help, test fixes, and document. If the class will be perfect, if the document has to be correct and your logics are not to be correct while as per the document, then review your document over there. Yeah, that's all about me. Thank you guys. Please hit like and subscribe my channel. I hope you like this video. So yeah, here the top 10 top how much question was that, I forgot. Yeah, top 15 questions which were asked in technical support engineer round 1. So yeah, thank you.